Close your eyes and imagine a world where tranquility and wellness are just a breath away. Welcome to our sanctuary of relaxation and rejuvenation. But what if you could carry your sanctuary with you wherever you go? Introducing our mobile app. Access a wealth of yoga classes, guided meditations, massage collections, and self-care techniques right at your fingertips. Create your own oasis of peace, anytime, anywhere. Download our app to embark on a path of tranquility and self-discovery. Your journey awaits. Namaste.
Hi, welcome. Today we're going to be doing yoga for letting go, and this is for anyone in their third trimester of pregnancy. You will need a few things, so a few more props than usual. I actually have 2 pillows that I'm using and a folded up towel. You can get really creative, just anything bulky that you can support yourself with. So go ahead and grab what you need and let's get started. If you don't have time to watch this video right now, go ahead and save for later and just do it whenever you get a chance. Alright, so getting started in Sukhasana, easy pose, and I would encourage you to just sit on as much height as you need to. You can stack as much as you need to feel nice and relaxed in your hips, and just I want you to be able to lengthen your spine and feel lots of room to breathe. And I want you to feel like you can stay here for a little while. So let's go ahead and close our eyes and let's just start with a full body scan, one of my favorite ways to begin my yoga practice. So rooting down through your sit bones, just feel your spine lengthen. Relaxing your feet, toes, ankles, calves, knees, thighs, hips, hands, fingers, forearms, elbows, arms, shoulders, chest, neck, jaw, tongue, face, ears, and head. Just bringing our full attention inward, really giving ourselves some loving care. Go ahead and keep your eyes closed and just keeping your spine long. Go ahead and begin to tune into your breath without trying to control it. Notice if you're holding your breath or breathing more shallow. As you bring more attention to your breath, it usually deepens on its own. And as you sit in easy pose, just allowing the hips to relax as we lengthen through the spine, rolling the shoulders back. And allowing the breath to deepen, so not breathing too hard into our abdomen, so keeping our abdomen nice and soft, focusing more on breathing more fully into the back body. And you want to stop just above the belly button with your deep breathing, so no exaggerated pushing in your abdomen. Just taking a few breaths, letting the breath deepen, become more full. Go ahead and bring your right hand onto your forehead, keeping your spine long and just collecting any lingering thoughts that might be out there. Just bringing it all in. Allowing that breath to deepen. And bring your left hand onto your heart. Starting to let your thoughts sink down into your heart, bringing your attention deeper. And just staying focused on breath. breathing into our heart center. And finally, bring the right hand onto the belly. And just as we feel more centered, more in our heart space, sending love to our baby, letting our abdomen soften. And just take a few breaths here. Allowing the hips to relax, spine's long. Just soften your face. One more good breath. You can open your eyes. And getting started with some more hip work. So if your hips are already starting to feel really tight, I would encourage you to get a little bit more height. If you're feeling good, let's go ahead and move into Badakonasana. So just bringing the soles of the feet together. And rooting down through our sit bones, go ahead and lengthen through the spine. And you might notice one knee is a little bit higher than the other. So just kind of take note of that. And go ahead and hinge at the hips. So just allowing those knees to fall towards the ground. Definitely noticing my left knee is higher a little bit. And just tuck your chin in, keeping the spine long. It's really common to feel from day to day just some kind of imbalance in the hips, just because your baby is kind of like pressing all over the place, including on your pelvic floor. So it can just kind of throw things off a little bit. This is one of the best things you can do to feel a little more balanced. And just let the abdomen soften, and let's take about 5 more breaths here. Rooting down through the sit bones. And just allowing those groins to release. Relax your shoulders. Let the face be soft. 2 more breaths. And release. Coming into half pigeon, go ahead and you can straighten your legs. And go ahead and bring your right ankle under your left knee. You can stack your left ankle on top of your right knee. And don't worry if this knee is up. Just work with what's going on. So rooting down through our sit bones, and go ahead and hinge at the hips, allowing that left knee to sink down. You never want to try and jam it down. So focusing on these hip opening poses, it just kind of helps to let go of any stagnant emotions and let everything flow a little more smoothly. So just let the abdomen be nice and soft, rooting down through the sit bones. You can bring your hands onto the floor if you'd like. You definitely want to keep as much space in your belly as possible, so never really just collapsing forward. And about 5 more breaths here, just breathing into that discomfort that you might feel in the left hip. Not running away from it, just breathing through it. 2 more breaths. And release. And just nice and slow. Go that leg. And opposite side, go ahead and stack your right ankle on top of your left knee. And so if you're feeling like you need more, you can always get rid of some height. That'll definitely deepen the stretch. And same thing, just staying rooted through your sit bones. You don't want to pop off of your support. and just let your abdomen soften. And let's take about 5 breaths here. Just breathing into that right hip and glute. Totally normal to feel one side is a little tighter. And 2 more breaths. And release. And let's all come into wide-legged child's pose. So in our 3rd trimester, just always creating a little bit more space for our belly and a more stable stance. So wide knees, can bring the big toes towards each other and just let your hips sink down towards your heels. And so we have, hopefully you have lots of options to choose from as far as support. So if you're feeling like there's pressure on your abdomen at all, or you just want to feel more comfortable, you can stack as much height as you need. And this is also a really nice place for a bolster if you have one, but you can make a lot of different things work. If you're using props, I would stack your forearms so you have space to breathe. And wherever you're at, I'm going to go ahead and just let my head rest on the floor. So wherever you're at, letting the hips sink down. And just enjoying that space in the low back. This is one of the best poses for low back pain, which can be definitely an issue in the 3rd trimester. Go ahead and walk those hands forward, allowing the spine to lengthen. Take about 3 breaths here. Just enjoying that space in the spine. Coming into tabletop, go ahead and stack your hips over your knees and your shoulders over your wrists. So not allowing your belly to just sag, so go ahead and tuck your tailbone in, scooping the pelvis, drawing your belly in towards your spine. Core is engaged. Try and keep that core engagement as we move, as we transition. So tucking the toes under, coming into downward facing dog. Pressing the thighs back. Letting the heels sink down. Just enjoying that length in the spine. This is a really healthy position of the pelvis as well. And then drop your knees, coming back into tabletop. And same thing, so not letting our belly sag, so tucking the tailbone in, scooping our pelvis. Keeping that healthy core engagement, and go ahead and lift the left leg. If you feel strong and stable, go ahead and lift the right arm. Tucking the chin in, 3 breaths here, and balancing. Pressing the thigh back and the tailbone in, and release. And just check in, make sure you're not allowing your abdomen to sag. Scoop your pelvis, lift that right leg and the left arm if you feel stable. Pressing through that right palm, holding for 3 breaths. Drawing that right thigh back, tucking the tailbone in. And release. All right, so setting ourselves up for Pigeon. So go ahead and make sure that if you're someone that's fairly flexible, you might not need as much support, but I'd encourage you to just provide as much as you can for yourself. So for Pigeon, I want you to be able to stack some pillows or blankets, and then I also want you to have support for your hip in case you need it. I really like using a folded up towel. So just, you can kind of slide that forward, slide that to the side, and let's go ahead and set up. So from tabletop, go ahead and tuck your toes under, pressing the thighs back. Go ahead and lift that left leg. Bend the left knee and just opening up the hips to start. That right heel sink down. Go ahead and bring that left knee forward into full pigeon and just nice and slow. So start to kind of work your way into it and scooching that back leg back. And if there's any distance in between your hip and the floor, you want to go ahead and scooch that support there. So starting here, so in the third trimester, you don't want to overstretch your abdomen, so be really careful of coming into a back bend here. Keep a neutral spine. If you want a little bit more, it usually just feels really nice, you can bring your forearms onto that support. And if you're thinking that you need more, you can always just let go and get rid of some of that height. But the third trimester is not a time to really push yourself too hard. Just find what feels good. Let's take about 5 more breaths here, breathing into that left hip. Notice if you're holding, just relax. You can always and stack your forearms on top of the pillow. Just explore what feels good. And 2 more breaths. Letting go in that hip, that left hip. And just as gracefully as possible coming out, go ahead and set yourself up for the opposite side if you need to kind of restack. Nice and slow coming out, and you can shift that hip support to the opposite side. And downward dog. And then press on up. Just kind of cleaning the slate here. Go ahead and lift that right leg. Bend that right knee, opening up the hips. Warming up for full pigeon. Just bringing the right knee in. Nice and slow, just setting yourself up. And don't feel like you have to use the props that you have, but they're there if you need them. And again, just be careful of overstretching your abdomen in this position. And taking about 20 to 30 seconds here, really settling in. Relax your abdomen. Really allow that right hip to soften. Allow your abdomen to soften. Let's take about 5 more breaths here. And see how deeply you can let go in that right hip. Just 1 more breath. And nice and slow, go ahead and just bring that leg back into tabletop. And coming into child's pose, you might need to kind of shift your props to the side and walk yourself forward so you're not pushed off of your mat. And nice wide-legged child's pose, just letting the head rest on the floor. If you're using a pillow, you can stack your forearms. And just enjoying how much more fluid you might feel in your thoughts, in your body, your emotions. Just letting go of anything that feels stuck. And let's go ahead and come on up. Ending with side-lying Savasana, so go ahead and grab a pillow and something to support your head with. We're gonna go ahead and get set up. So I like to begin by just rolling to my side. And just find a position for your arm that feels comfortable. So just want you to feel as comfortable as possible. So once you get settled in, then close your eyes. And spending some quality time here. And just really allowing yourself to be totally supported. Not trying to control the breath, letting it be whatever it is, and notice if you're trying to hold your head up, and just relax. Relax your whole body. And just enjoying the support. Just feeling nurtured through our practice. And feeling better. And feel free to stay in this Savasana as long as you would like. That is it for our practice today. You'll actually find the full series on our app Yoga Plus. So if you enjoyed this video, you should check it out. Look forward to seeing you there.
Welcome to Yoga Plus. Courses available from pupil to yogi. Sort by yoga, fitness, and instructors. Create your own routines. Access the pose library. Yoga Plus by PsycheTruth, available on Google Play and the App Store.
Join us for 14 and 30-day programs, hour-long classes, and much more on our yoga app, Yoga Plus by PsycheTruth. It's free to download and features a variety of wellness content, including yoga, fitness, Pilates, guided meditations, and interviews with dozens of wellness experts.